Hi, Gary Cruz here with ATEM Studios, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Roland V-02HD video switcher. Okay, let's start off with the unboxing. I got this from ATEM. I'll start with the bottom here, makes it easier to open. A box within a box. So this one's the V-02HD Pack 1. This also includes a FS-5U foot pedal, two 16-foot HDMI cables, and an instrument cable to connect the foot pedal to the switcher. Okay, inside is a Roland instrument cable. This is the black series. We've got a Roland 16-foot or 5-meter HDMI cable, which is also a black series. We have another one as well, which is the black series. Here's the Boss FS-5U foot switch. And here's the Roland multi-format video mixer V-02HD. Let's start off with this foot switch here. Comes with, looks like a sticker with labels, some instructions, and the foot switch. Feels like it's made of metals, pretty high quality. It's not a clicky switch, but seems pretty solid and fairly lightweight. And it has, looks like a polarity switch here. And this is where the input of the Next up is the V-02HD. Starting off with, it says here, if you use the unit without securing the cord to the cord hook, vibration that affects the unit or the AC adapter might cause the AC adapter plug to fall out or cause the connection to become unsatisfactory. And here's a README first. Comes in multiple languages, of course. And then the actual manual. We also have a 9-volt 2-amp adapter. Okay. And the power cord that goes along with it. And I'm not sure what this little plastic piece goes to, but I'll figure it out later. And here's the switcher. Feels like it's metal all around. We've got the 7 to 17 volt input, USB, the control, that's where the pedal comes in. We've got the scaler program out, preview out, and then scaler for input 2, HDMI, and HDMI for input 1. If you look on the left, we've got headphones and a volume for that, audio in, the power on and off, nothing up the front, and a vent on the left. The controls are smooth. On the output fade, right when you get to the middle, it has a little click. It doesn't audibly click, but you can feel a little bit of resistance. And then the buttons itself are kind of mushy, no clicking here. With the controls, there are some little clicks here for the control 1 and 2. And then we've got the setup for the menu, the values here, and the quick switches from 1 to 2. And you can also use the T-bar. The T-bar it's got a slight resistance, but it's pretty smooth. Okay, let's get this thing plugged in. Oh, I think this is the cord wrap. Might have to screw that on. Let me see here. Yep. Be sure to secure the AC adapter cord to the cord hook. I'm not sure why they didn't attach it already. And today we're going to test out using this monitor. And what I'll do is I'll link all the products in the description below so you can see what they are. This is a G-Chic monitor here. And then, so here's the scenario. I currently use an ATEM Studio for my switching live switching needs. However, sometimes I don't want to bring that large unit with me. So in smaller gigs, I want to bring something that's pretty quick that can switch between two cameras, and I figured that this would be the best solution for either streaming or also for recording and editing post-production. So in this scenario, I'm going to hook up my camera, which is currently recording me. And then what I'll do is, I'll hook up the top camera to this, and then we'll see the output here. And then we can also record it on a third device, which is another Blackmagic ATEM Video Assist, which is right here. Okay, so the way I have it set up is I'm going to take the program out and put that into this Video Assist here. So I'm going to take the program out and put it in the HDMI in of the Video Assist. And I'm going to take the preview out and plug it into this monitor for a preview. Now we'll take this HDMI cable and plug this into that camera. And I'll put this into input 1 as the main camera. And then I've got another HDMI cable that I will take from this top camera that is going into my other Video Assist. And I'll just take the HDMI out and put that into video 2 for input 2. Okay. And let's go ahead and get this foot switch control. So one of the scenarios that I will be using this for a musical that's happening this weekend. And I'll have a wide camera and a tight camera. Or I'll have a wide camera that I'll just not man as a PTZ camera, and then the tight camera would be the Sony PXW Z90, which I'll control with the tripod, and then I'll use this foot switcher to switch between the two signals to edit the transitions live, and that's the goal. So typically what I have to do is record both, then take it all into my editor, which I use Final Cut Pro, and then make those changes after the fact. So if it's a 2-hour show, I'm watching it for an additional 2 hours and even longer, versus editing this in real time and then providing a quicker turnaround for the video for the parents that want to watch this. And let's put this in here. Okay, so I've got everything plugged in, and let's turn the power on. See how it works out. Okay, turn on my monitor here. Ooh, okay. So we've got the preview. We've got it on. Let's make one live. So this should be. Okay, so the preview is on 2. Okay, so if I switch this to 1, I'm confused. Okay, I'm getting used to it. Well, apparently the switching is working. And so this is the output of live. This is preview, and it says preview right here. Okay, on the bottom right, there's some audio signals, and the audio signals are coming in from both the camera that are up in front, and also the signal that is coming from my microphone that's connected to this Video Assist. Pretty nifty. So if I click on the foot switch here, it's not switching. I wonder if I have to do anything special here. Let's take a look at the menu. I haven't even read the directions yet, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Right now I'm going to demo the features. I've got it all set up here. This video assist is recording the main out, the program out from the switcher. This is the preview window. It can get a little confusing as you're watching this, but I'll try to edit this so it makes sense. Okay, so right now, starting with the left, we've got this output fade. This is really to, if you want to black out the scene, you can just move it over to the left. And then if you captured an image, maybe a logo, you can switch over to a logo or to a still image. And you can do that pretty quickly. Now we'll go over the effects. For the mix, it's basically a crossfade. So if we click on 1, it'll switch between, or click on 2, it'll switch to camera 2. If we click on 1, it'll switch to camera 1. Again, if I go back to camera 2, it does an automatic fade, and then you see camera 2, which is that camera above me. And then if I use this T-bar here and move it over to camera 1, I can control the fade and mix between the two slowly. Okay. Now, I've got the foot switch plugged in, and ideally when you click on the foot switch, it does that, and it's not working at the moment. I'll have to figure that out later. The next one is wipe. So if we switch over to wipe, and we switch over to camera 2, you'll see a wipe that goes up to down, and then if we switch back to camera 1, it's the same thing. So to change the different wipe effects, if we go to menu and go to mix wipe, you can say mix, let's say the wipe type is horizontal, or we can do it vertical. Let's try and see what that looks like. So it's currently on wipe, we switch over to camera 2, and it's a vertical wipe. Okay, I don't see myself using that much, but this might come into play if I want to do kind of a split screen here. And if I stand over here, I can talk about the product right here, and then you can still see me in the split screen. So that could be somewhat useful. Or if I'm playing a game, I can have the game going on in one side of the screen and then my talking head. But if I'm doing that, I'll be using picture-in-picture. So if I switch over to picture-in-picture, I get a preview of what I'm going to see here. I'm going to switch this actually to this. So now, let's say this desktop is my game, and then if I'm going to be talking on top of the game or even a presentation, I'll go ahead and switch it on. And now I'm talking in this little window here, and you know, I'm facing the main camera, and my game is going on here or whatever I'm presenting. The beauty of this is that it's much easier compared to my ATEM Studio to move this window around. So if I want to move this over here to the right or move it up and down, I just use these dials to move it accordingly. Okay, and it's pretty quick. All right, so the next thing is key. I don't have an example where I can use the key. Actually, you know what? Okay, I don't have anything that's green right now. So right now it's doing a Luma key. If I switch over this, make this live, I can mix this in here. So anything that's showing up as black, it's showing through. So essentially, if you have a logo, you can reverse that and show that on top of that. That's ideally what you'll be using the key for. And that only works with a still image, not with the video. All right, so if we go through the menu settings here, let's switch this camera here. So I'll click on here so you can see this. All right, so if we kind of go through the menu settings, we've got the video input, kind of goes through 1 and 2, the video output. Okay, so I'm kind of getting used to this. When you click on menu, then you press the button for the push to enter, and then you can kind of select what's what, and you know, if it's connected, what signal it is, and what the color space is, go up. And the next thing is transition time. So that controls the transition time between camera 1 and camera 2. So if I wanted it quicker, let's move this down to half a second. Let's see what that looks like. And I'll switch over to, it's on camera 2 now. Let's switch over to camera 1. And that's a little more my speed for half a second. Okay, for the picture-in-picture, you can see the positioning. And here's where you can control the size. So I had it at 35%. If I want to make this a little bit smaller at 30%, I'll just dial this down. I'll switch out of the menu. Switch over to picture-in-picture. I can see the preview of this. The window is noticeably smaller. Let's make it live. And there it is, the picture-in-picture, and then I can again move it accordingly. If I go back to picture-in-picture here and change the size, I can see it in real time as I dial this up. Let's make that 50%. I'll probably switch it back over to 35. There we go. Then if you wanted to crop the horizontal, you can do that as well. And I'll just leave this at 100%. That comes into play if you have, let's say, a background that has some distracting elements, you want to make them smaller and crop it out, you can do that. Over to the key, you can do key source, but here you can check if it's chroma or luminance black. So since I'm wearing a dark shirt, anything that's black will show through. So you want to make that according to the settings for the video elements, such as the logo, to show accordingly. And then for VFX, it's off. The type is mosaic, background mosaic, full mosaic. Let's take a look at what this wave is. Let me get out of here. And, oh, okay, so this is the wave. Not really useful for me. Go back in here and see what else I've got. RGB replace, so I can Hulk out. Color pass, negative, colorize, you know, got a music video going on, posterize, silhouette, emboss, find edges, monocolor, hue offset, saturation offset, value offset. Really, none of this I'll probably use. Maybe this in combination with the voice changer
to anonymize anybody I'm interviewing who wants to talk about what's going on and stay anonymous.
But other than that, a lot of those VFX are something that came from an 80s VHS video. All right, so let's get out of that, turn off the VFX. And that pretty much covers all the features of this, from the effects control, the VFX, the setup. We've got the dials. The next thing I need to do is kind of figure out what's going on with the pedal. I think I just have to kind of read through the manual. There must be some sort of signal that needs to come through there, or actually enable it through the menu to turn that on. So I'm thinking that's probably all I need to do. And the advantage of having the pedal is if you have your hands full and you need to switch between these two, you don't have to kind of go over here and click the button to make that happen. You can do it from the foot pedal, which currently isn't working. So if this review was helpful for you, click that like button and definitely subscribe, because I'll be doing more reviews of this type, comparing this Roland switcher to an ATEM Studio, or even going something basic with just switching on your laptop. You know, just to stream multiple cameras, starting basic maybe with your iPhone. If streaming and video is your thing, definitely subscribe to this channel and I'll have more to come. Thanks for watching.
Yeah.